stream is live.
Well, everyone, welcome to another episode of Landed for Success. This evening I have a very special guest, a good friend of mine, Chief Dr. Lester Bailey. So, Chief, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me join you. I enjoy this invitation.
Well, Chief, I know you're extremely busy. And so for my friends who are watching this evening, if you guys are coming in tonight for the very first time, please type a 1 in the comments. Type a 1 in the comments so we can acknowledge you for being here. And if you're brave enough to leave a comment or ask a question for Chief Dr. Lester Bailey, our special guest, we would do our best to try to answer them here while we're live with you, or we'll try to circle back later and answer some of the questions you have for you. So again, I have with me here this evening, Chief Dr. Lester Bailey. Chief, can you tell us in 60 seconds or less, what was your professional background prior to what you're doing today? Looks like Chief may have froze out on us. I'm not sure why, but while he's frozen and he's going to be coming back, let me just hop on Facebook right now. My Facebook, just to make sure that we are actually live. And Chief, are you back?
Yes, we are.
Awesome.
Yes, I am.
You were frozen there for a sec. Chief, could you maybe share with us a little bit about what is your professional background prior to what you're doing today?
My professional background, I was an outdoorsman. I was actually a Chicago police officer, and I was a Chicago police officer for 30 years, and I had a good time in doing that beautiful job. Glad I'm retired.
Wow, 30 years as a police officer. That's a lifetime. Looks like Chief has cut out on us here again. It may be the internet. While we're waiting for Chief to come back, again, Chief Dr. Lester Bailey is one of the co-founders at Mindatorium. I highly recommend that if you get a chance, go check out Mindatorium and see all the amazing things that they are actually doing in the personal development space and in the film industry as well. Marcia, welcome. Thank you for dropping by this evening, and I look forward to seeing you at our upcoming Niagara, Canada International Film Festival this coming summer as well. All right, so while we're waiting for Chief, I would like to do this for you guys if possible. All right, let me just play for you. You do that? Wait a minute. No. Let me make sure I'm on the right page. Let's do this for 1 second.
The Niagara, Canada International Film Festival for 2024.
Well, that was 2024, and we're getting ready for Niagara, Canada International 2025. So I encourage each and every one of you to check out the link that is actually at the bottom right here. Oh, no, hold on 1 second. Did I do this right? No. Here we go. So Niagara, Canada International Film Festival on June 7th and 8th. Tickets are now available. You can go to niff.ca. So 2 days of cinematic experience for $30, you guys. $30 for 2 full days. And the theater we're going to be at this year, you guys, the iconic Grapefruit Theater has an incredible Vegas 5 IMAX theater with sound, screen. It's just going to be an incredible weekend, I encourage you to come and join us. Okay, Chief, you are back.
I had to go to a different location so that way I can make sure that I can stay here.
Okay. Well, Chief Dr. Lester Bailey, welcome back. I know sometimes the internet could be difficult. So again, thank you folks for bearing with us. And Chief, I would love for you to take just a couple of a minute or two just to share with us again your professional background and what did you do prior to becoming one of the co-founders of Mindatorium.
Okay, I'm not sure if I'm actually out here. It's one of the things about the internet. It's just the most lovely feeling in the world. So
Yeah.
let me.
It's
I was just.
perfect right now. I can hear you, I can see you, so it's absolutely perfect.
That's what I want to make sure of. So to everyone, I was a Chicago police officer in the city of Chicago, right? And I had a good time.
Looks like Chief is having internet challenges again. Okay, so while we're waiting for Chief to come back, one of the things that Chief Dr. Lester Bailey, myself, and a number of our leaders here at Atlanta for Success, we will be going through once again the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. How many of you have seen the book, read the book? If you have, just type TGR in the comment. For 4 or 5 or 6 years, Chief and myself and a number of our leaders would be on here every day reading and talking about Think and Grow Rich. So we're back again. We're going to be doing this. I'm not sure if it's going to be every day, but at least every week again. Chief, welcome back again.
Thank you. We learned a lot from the book Think and Grow Rich. And it's always sometimes things will go wrong. And sometimes they will. But you learn the fact of not letting yourself go with it. Because so many times when it just because it went wrong, because it didn't go the way you designed it to go, does not mean that you should change about what your plans were. Being on the police department, I had such a good time, but there were days where they were just absolutely wonderful. And then there were those days that were challenging. And
Wow.
what made a day challenging is the day you just went to work and you just didn't know what was going to happen. So I
Wow.
love the opportunity. And you were just before the internet didn't like me anymore, you were making a statement on the police department.
Well, let me ask you this, Chief. You know, what is there a story that you could share? I know stories when you're out there working as a police officer, some things are obviously private and confidential, right? So when
Hmm.
you're talking about things that could go wrong, can you think of a time when you were out there and something went wrong? Are you able to share one of those stories and how you dealt with that challenge?
One of your favorite stories that I tell 10 years ago, in the month of April, actually 10 years ago, I was leaving work, believe it or not. You talk about so many things that happen on your job, but this happened 15 minutes after I got off work. As soon as I left work, someone tried to shoot me 28 times. And I had such an occasion to wonder what was different about today versus any other day. And the truth is nothing. It was a regular nice sunny day. I was driving home and someone approached my vehicle, tried to take me out of my vehicle while I was in police uniform, and they wanted to steal my car. As I went to go and arrest this individual, I got close to him within maybe 30 feet, and gunshots started ringing out of nowhere. And it wasn't the person that I was chasing, it was someone else on the street. Someone else on the street decided to shoot me, and they put me in a triangle, and the shots rang out. And as those shots rang out, it was an amazing feeling to try to hold myself cool and calm. I looked around. I wanted to make sure I wouldn't hit anybody in traffic. I was so busy trying to get away from the gunshots that I never thought about my own safety. I was driving toward a hospital, which was only a block and a half away, and I never even noticed that hospital. So I got around the corner to what I considered a safe spot. And as I was again calling for additional help, other police officers to come on the scene, I was ready for the worst to happen. But my mindset stayed strong. I had been always building a mindset over years of being on the police department that relax. When the worst is coming, relax. You will be able to make the best moves when you're calm, when you're not trying to make up a situation. And as I was in that, I was calm. I was able to go and arrest each and every one of those individuals who shot at me. So it
Wow.
was a fun time.
That's crazy. I mean, how do you stay calm when someone's actually like bang, bang, bang? They're actually shooting at you. That sounds like a movie.
Well, in actuality, over years of training and being in some of the worst situations, you learn to relax because you
Mm,
you have to think. You can't let your emotions be the thing that takes you over. And my emotions would have been that thing that would have gotten me just because I was crazy. I was nervous. I wasn't thinking correctly. Mine was, what is the safest place to get out the way? And it was all developing the right type of mindset. I won't say
wow.
a positive mindset because I can guarantee you, you won't be positive there. You're just hoping that you don't spoil yourself in those situations. But it wasn't the first time that I was in that situation. It just happens to be the most personal and the last time that it happened.
Okay, so Chief, you're in the police force, you retire, and then you picked up a book called Think and Grow Rich.
Oh my goodness. That was one of the fun days of my life. You
Okay.
all to know how to become a speaker, how to become a podcaster. My friend, my mentor, decided to ask me to go on Facebook Live, being a part of the High Five Club. And he said, why don't you read this book out loud? That was one of the most nervous times that I ever had because
Mm,
I can read well, but I never practiced reading out loud. So my first go around in reading this story about Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, I was crazy nervous. I stumbled over words in which I would never stumble over. I mean, some of the words on that page must have been at least 38 letters. So it would take me a minute. It's like reading, ingredients on the back of most foods. You just can't get it together. So I began the practice of reading the book, Think and Grow Rich. I read it out loud, and I read it out loud to all my friends and family. And I did that. And, my mentor was so kind to me. He says, once I finish reading it, why don't you do it again? So I was like, what do you mean? I got through the hard part. I read this book and I've read it again. And as reading again, I had other partners come along, you know, Miss Patricia Lynn Stokes and Miss Natalie Cousins.
mm,
Those ladies decided to help me to go through this book. And we started dissecting the book. And as we dissected the book, as we really learned the words of Napoleon Hill, successes became to come our way. And it's
mm,
so funny, you don't see them as they're coming, but because you're reading something that's transformational, you're
wow.
like, wow. So I had fun. I went with that book and I managed to read that book for the next 3 years every day.
That was
Every
amazing. I was online like right now, kind of like this online on
mm,
Zoom every day where people were watching you
hmm
read and internalize it every day. You know, it's really neat. You mentioned Natalie, right? From reading Think and Grow Rich and leveraging that mindset, she's now built a very successful real estate company and business in Atlanta, Georgia. And you
Yes.
have Patricia, who leveraged that mindset and helped open up a women's shelter in her hometown. So Think and Grow Rich has been absolutely amazing. So I want to pivot for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about what is what's Mindatorium. So how did you go from where you were to now Mindatorium?
It was actually, it's funny thing when you're really looking at it. Why Mindatorium? And for you all that don't know what Mindatorium is, it's a movie platform for personal development and, for family television, family movies, family music, family training. And that's how it was built. Because I read that book every day, I met a guy by the name of Henning Morales. And in meeting him, he and I shared that in common thing, Think and Grow Rich. So
Mm,
as he was, as he wanted to make movies, I came in and I began, the usage of what I've learned from Think and Grow Rich, started moving in that category to help people understand what that mindset is when you get a better mindset, when you get a stronger mindset, and you're not living, as we would say of a news station, CNN, constant negative news. We wanted to be able to bring people to a life where they could understand what this is. So the scandemic or pandemic, depending on what you said, of the 2018-19, we began building this particular company. And as we built this company with the idea of just giving people something, have a place for movies with something extra. So many people looked at the big box companies, and on those big box companies, they never ever had mindset. They never had something to build you. They always had a movie or music that were tearing down personal thoughts and personal feelings. And we said, let's make a little difference in this company. So therefore, officially, as we changed our name to Mindatorium 3 years ago, we've been really moving up and bringing in new content creators, bringing in new trainers, new coaches, people who have a little bit of extra. It's not your normal what you would see on the regular big box companies, and you can download Mindatorium on your phone or your television. It's an actual app that you have for Google or um, Apple, Google or Apple. We're both on those. We even have an app for your television, just in case you're on Roku and Fire and whoever television that you use. We're actually there. But we wanted to show people mentorship and movies that they will love and hear the music. And now, as of in just about a couple of hours, 2 hours, we'll be starting our marketing campaign that's actually generated out of Canada for all the you Canadians there, although we're a US company, but we're found in 7 other countries right now, and we're building and we're building.
wow, that's incredible. Oh,
Mhm.
Canada, hey.
Oh, Canada. Yes, and I love that you were able to put a few things up there from our page, because it's a lot when you are really looking at why would you develop something. Well, Think and Grow Rich does not always mean to be wealthy. It's the richness of what comes out of you. Why would you look at something and say, I can be a part of this community? We're a community station built for no matter who we are. We're going to be featuring a few films from, of course, Canada, from Germany. We have one from Italy. We're doing something in Mexico, also Brazil. I was
Wow,
talking with someone yesterday, believe it or not, Gordon, from Barcelona, Spain, who wants
wow.
they want to start putting up new content. And there are people from the islands, and I just don't mean the island street by your house, but from
Ah,
the islands. So there's so much to be done when you really get in that Think and Grow Rich
yes,
mentality.
yes. Well, that's amazing. That's amazing. So, is there a favorite in terms of, let's say, Think and Grow Rich? Do you have a favorite story that
My favorite story. is, of course, the story of persistence. And when you're looking at persistence, when you're looking to fulfill your dream,
Persistence. Persistence. Did you say persistence? Okay.
persistence,
Okay.
when you're looking to fulfill your dream, you have to be persistent. There are going to be times when it's going to be so easy, and there are going to be times when the most difficult things come up in your way, and you have to be able to look through. Imagine in the early 1920s, there was this little girl. She's about 6, 7, 8 years of age in the early 1920s, and she lived on the land. The land. What I wanted, I can't say. It wasn't quite a plantation anymore since it was over. Sharecroppers. She lived on the sharecropper
Sharecroppers. Okay.
land,
Yeah.
and as she lived on the land, her mother asked her to go see the man who owned the property and give her 50 cents.
Wow. Wow.
This little girl says, okay. Now you have to imagine this is a little black girl during this time, and she leaves her house. As she leaves her house, imagine her wearing like a burlap dress. Nothing fancy, nothing like in today's. She's got maybe some socks on, she has open-toed shoes. She's walking across a dirt land because that's all she had during the time, a little dirt land. And she goes up to the barn.
Oh, we lost your sound, Lester. Chief, we lost your sound.
Okay, I'm not sure where you
You're
lost.
back. You're back.
As
You're
she
back.
goes up into this barn, the owner is standing there. He is shoveling hay. He's got a barrel stave. He is shoveling hay. And the little girl shows up to the doorway. She looks at this man. This man looks at her, and she still stands there. So he finally asks her, why are you here? And the little girl says, my mammy says, send her 50 cents. So he
Wow.
looks at her and he says, I will not. Get away from my door. And he goes back to work. Well, while he's working, he just happened to look over again and notice the little girl is still standing there. I know it popped up in his mind. Why is she still here? She heard me. He told her again, I will not. Get out of here. And the little girl just looked at him. He's like, I'm not going to give you 50 cents. The little girl said, my mammy says, give me 50 cents. So now you can see him in his sleeveless t-shirt on. You can see the beads of sweat jumping out of his head. You can see the anger starts to come in him because he's turning as red as a beak. And his nephew is sitting in distance. He's like in the background where nobody can see him. And he walks over to this little girl. And he's, has that stump walk and moving fast. He has this barrel stave in his hand. And he looks at the little girl and he says, I will not give you 50 cents. Get out of here. Little girl said, my mammy said, give me 50 cents. As you can see, her mind is focused on what her definition of purpose was.
Wow.
She wasn't going to leave. This man stood there with everything in his hand. He's taller. He's much heavier. He's got anger on his side. He has everything. But she says, I'm not leaving until I get this. So his nephew sitting in the corner says, he's going to murder this little girl. He's going to murder her because as an adult, we know children don't talk back to us. And especially in the early 20s, a black child talking to a Caucasian man wasn't going to happen.
Wow.
So he finally looks at the little girl, sees what her intentions are because she is not taking no for an answer. He puts his hand in his pocket. He gives her the 50 cents. The little girl looks at him in the eye and she walks out the door backwards. She was not going to take her eye off of him at all.
Wow.
And we often wonder, what type of persistence will we have? So let me ask you, Gord, what was one of your favorite stories of that time?
Well, as you were sharing that story about Darby and his uncle, right? And this little girl who said, my mama wants her 50 cents. I'm thinking of, other stories about Darby and his uncle as well, like the story 3 Feet from Gold and so
Oh
on.
yeah.
But I love how you told that story because persistence is so important, isn't it? Right?
Hmm.
Because we always talk about persistence, and it's easy to say, let's keep going and let's never quit and just persist. But I'm sure there's been times when I probably quit on something, somebody, or I quit on myself. So it's easy, right? Like Jim Rohn says, it's easy. What does he say? He says, what's easy to do is also easy
Not.
not to do. So it's easy to say, let's be persistent. Let's rethink and grow rich every single day. And you did that, Chief. What,
Yeah.
for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? In fact, Patricia reached out to me the other day and says, "Hey, I want to find on Facebook the High Five Club because I have some friends I've been talking to about when we did the High Five Club, and they want to see some of the past videos." Jasmine says, "Dog, what a good story!" Yeah.
Hmm.
You got Deepa. Deepa says, love it. Deepa, yourself and Deepa, a huge part of our senior team that's advising us for our Niagara Canada International Film Festival. And so, there's some persistence there as well, right, Chief? Because it's
Yeah.
the first year, that was their second year. Anything you do, it takes time to grow. Maybe we could switch gears since Deepa's here as well, and she's an incredible filmmaker as well. And you've gone from policing to being a filmmaker yourself. So I want to see if we could switch over to the Niagara Canada International Film Festival. Let's see if I can do this for a sec.
For those of you all that don't know about the Niagara International Film Festival, it started out with an idea.
Just like Napoleon Hill, right? Imagination and idea. If thoughts are
Yes,
things, what are you thinking about, right?
that's
Yeah.
right. So as we had an idea, just talking about it, because I get into the film business not knowing anything about it. I want everybody to understand my background has nothing to do with filmmaking, nothing at all. It was,
Yeah, but Chief, all your life there's been a movie like made for you, like Bad Boys, Bad Boys. What are you gonna do when they come for you? So that's what you've been doing all your life, and now
yes.
are you making movies?
It's funny because, of course, our favorite movie came from this one star that you all can always pick up quotes from. Guy's name was Bruce Lee.
Oh,
The water.
wow,
He said,
wow,
water takes the same shape of what you want.
yes,
So be
wow.
like, I love
Be like water, right?
it. Hmm.
It's funny, you just talked about Bruce Lee. I was talking to someone today, and I am so excited. If you guys come to the film festival this year, you are. What am I doing here? I'm trying to stop something here, and it's not working for me. Hold on, Chief. How do I? There we go. No, there we go. So I was talking to Donna Smith today,
Hmm.
and she was telling me she was meeting with one of the folks she worked on a movie with a few years ago. It was called Crouching Tiger. You guys remember Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon?
Yes, I
Yeah,
do.
that was an incredible martial arts movie, right? Like Michelle Yao, like today now she's in Star Wars and a whole bunch of movies as well. But Donna Smith, if you guys get a chance to come, she is a retired executive from Hollywood, one of the big Hollywood studios, and she literally broke the glass ceiling in Hollywood, right? In a male dominant industry, she became a producer, and I don't really want to tell her story because I want you guys to come to the film festival, meet her yourself, and rub shoulders with her. I mean, we have a dinner theater this year. The theater is a dinner theater. You guys can sit there, have your favorite beverage with her, but find out from her how she accidentally ended up from an unemployment line, you guys, from an unemployment line to producing, actually co-producing her first movie. And I'm going to share the name of the movie. Some of you guys may know the actor in the movie, a gentleman by the name of Robert De Niro,
Mhm.
Raging Bull. That was the first movie she co-produced, right? And then her second movie, some of you may have heard of Rocky 2 with Sylvester Stallone. And then her third movie, literally in the order that I just mentioned, right? Raging Bull, Rocky 2, Terminator. Isn't that crazy? So,
Yeah.
Chief, if I was going to a film festival like Niagara Canada International Film Festival, because it's about championing independent filmmakers. Like last night, I went and watched a movie at an IMAX theater called The Life Coach. It's a feature movie by an independent filmmaker. Man, it was so incredible. You and I have been in the personal development space for years, and mental health and wellness is a real issue today. It's kind of that theme. But going back to Donna, I'll finish this in 30 seconds, and I'm going to jump back to you, Chief. Some of her other movies, you guys may have heard of it: Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, The Matrix, Apollo 13, Waterworld, Babes, Traffic with Michael Douglas. Right, those Back to the Future, Star Wars. Have you guys heard of some of those movies? Titanic. Under her watch, over 150 movies. So if I was an independent filmmaker, I would love to be able to just sit down with her and ask her like questions. Does that make sense? What do I need to do to get my film noticed, get it to the next level, or get capital, or whatever it is to get that film to the next level? So Donna doesn't have to be there. She's coming directly from the Cannes International Film Festival to be with us at the Niagara Canada International Film Festival.
And that's so wonderful for all of you content creators, independent filmmakers, musicians, coaches. It doesn't matter what you're in. When you go to filmmakers, you talk to the audience in which that's a part of you. You want to always surround yourself around people who are like you, who can lift you up, who can keep you encouraged about what you're doing. So first of all, we asked you this question because I know, that this week is the final week because we did an extension for people who want to put their films on our platform, on the platform of the Niagara International Film Festival. So I want you to go to niff.ca. You will see it, scrolling across the bottom there, and come and meet people who are just like you, who found a reason to find a film festival to be a part of it. The film that you're looking at today can go to a Cannes, it can go to a Sun, can go to. It's just that you have to start the action first, get in the right mindset, and understand that your film is not just for you and your family. It's for all of us to come out and see. And I want to invite everybody that's listening to join us. I mean, you're talking about June 6th, 7th, and 8th. And ask yourself your question. If you're not busy right now being there, then you should be getting your reservation to be with us. We're already telling you what you can do in June. Most of your calendars haven't gone that far, but our calendar is there. Our calendar is waiting on you to join us at this film festival. We have so many things that we want to do for you, and along with meeting like-minded people that's going to be there. So I love it. I've already have my reservations there. So if you want to meet me, you want to talk to me, you want to find out what do I do in this business, in this movie business? Oh, I have stories for you. And I have some people that's a part of my core group who will be there because we want to champion you filmmakers. We want to be able to let you know about the business, not just about the film festival, but what does the film festival do for you? And that's an important thing, because if you don't know what to do with your film, then what? What's next?
Yes. Well, it's really. I'm typing something right here as we speak. So, let's see. Right here. So, So, Film Freeway. Is that right?
Yeah.
Do it this way.
Well, I'm looking for my phone.
Somebody just asked about.
Computer didn't want to play with me.
Submitting their film. So so you can still submit your film. Just go to Film Freeway. And Lester, what's kind of really neat is, like you mentioned, when you when you have a film, you made the film, you spend your time, your money, your energy. Now what?
Now what?
Now what? Right. So one of the things I love about Mindatorium is one of the now what is I can actually put my film, right, if it gets approved by chief, Mindatorium platform. And potentially, it's not just today, but let's think 10 years from now. Let's start like Napoleon just said with a dream. 10 years from now, what if there's potentially thousands and tens and hundreds of thousands of people that could actually see my film? Wouldn't that be incredible on a platform like Mindatorium? I had a friend who went to an event called Film Mart just a couple of weeks ago in Hong Kong, and you've got the who's of just about everyone in Asia, right, and in Europe, in the film industry that's there. And one individual who was there shared a video where somebody was talking from stage, and this individual was from Dubai. There was a panel, and they were talking about co-production.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so you could produce a movie yourself, or maybe you could look for someone who could help co-produce it with you. And this individual on stage said, if you need a co-producer, we're interested. And if you don't have money, don't worry, we do. We're just looking for good content. That's just one person. Does that make sense? I mean, how many of you know people that may have something they produced or they need more money? Anybody? Right? Chief, did you guys ever, you and Ashcon and Hanning, Mindatorium, do you guys ever co-produce films with other people?
Yes, even documentaries.
Wow. Documentaries, feature films. Now, we don't need to go into it right now, but I would assume you have certain criteria, would you not?
Always, there's going to be a criteria, but there's only one way to find out. Come to us.
So if some of the filmmakers, you're going to be there in Niagara.
Yes,
right?
I am.
Some of your executive team members are going to be there. So if there's a filmmaker that's coming to our film festival, would they have a potential to meet you and maybe share with you what they're doing?
I would love for them to meet with me, to have the conversations. I was just at a big event in San Diego over the weekend. And being at this big event, I met people who want to do the same thing. I met people who want to, put on content. I met investors. I'm meeting different people in different areas of this. And with me knowing some of these people now, I become an assistant for you. I become that person that you can ask those questions.
Wow.
And it's important. You're going to meet the actual CEO of Mindatorium, Henning Morales. He made 18 movies during the.
So how many movies?
He made 18 movies.
18 movies.
18 movies.
Wow.
And they're all, of course, on Mindatorium. They're actually on the platform itself, and you'll find out this is how ideas were born, but how you manifest them. How is that thing that you want to see? We began.
Hanning's going to be there.
Henning's going to be there.
There's the CEO founder. Like, is it so hard to meet executives?
Yes.
That's pretty amazing.
That's so important. You have people who are like Donna Smith, who've been in the industry for years. You have people who are like me, learning about this whole business, and it all became from Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah. I'm so pumped. I was talking to Donna today for over an hour, and she's staying at a spa, an inn and a spa that's so where she's staying, you walk across the parking lot, literally 30 seconds, you're at the Grapefruit Theater. So this year, our event is at the iconic Grapefruit Theater, and I'm not even sure how to explain it, but it's got an IMAX theater there. But it's a dinner theater, you guys, a little bit different than your traditional theater. It's a dinner theater. So it has that incredible Vegas vibe. Incredible. So, you can order your favorite beverage, come with your best friends, your besties, 5 or 10 of you could sit at one table.
And you know what you forgot the most? For some odd reason, they have this big waterfalls there.
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah. So I'm challenging anybody this year, though, Lester, you know, the waterfall.
Hmm.
You did the helicopter ride last year,
Yes.
right? What was that experience like?
Oh, that was so much fun. And I appreciate every one of the people who gave me that opportunity. And I plan on getting on it again
Okay.
to really see the falls from that helicopter view
Yeah.
was absolutely amazing for me.
It's an experience that it's hard to describe. You got to experience it for yourself. But think
Yes.
about that waterfall for some of the folks who are adventurous. What about zip lining across the
I'm
board?
not that adventurous anymore.
Right? So you're in Niagara Falls, Canada, and what's really neat is look to all our American friends. Come on up, you guys. Like the dollar is so strong right now. The U.S. dollar, I think the other day I checked, it was like 69 cents.
Wow.
69 cents, right? So I don't know. I was talking to somebody in California today of all things about eggs. How much is it for a dozen eggs right now? Marcia, you guys still there? How much is a dozen eggs in the US right now? Can anyone help me out? I'm not trying to be here or
Let's
anything like that.
turn around and say it may cost you your firstborn.
Well, a,
It's
a dozen eggs is like I can go buy a dozen eggs right now here for $3.99.
well, ours is coming back down to that. But imagine it's $3.99 or for our $3.99 versus your
Well,
$3.99.
I think with the conversion, it's like $2.69 for you guys.
Right. And we're
It's
paying
crazy, isn't it?
$3.99 for
Yeah,
the same thing, if not more. A
yeah.
dozen is crazy. But
So there's a beautiful wineries there. The
yeah.
food is incredible, right? But if you enjoy nature, the botanical garden is incredible. But you know, we have a wine sponsor,
Hmm.
and he has Klaus has had this winery for a long time, and he's got this one room that very few people get to go in. And I'm not sure how I got invited to be in this room for him. He's got this table when you sit there. Literally, the way he rebuilt that top floor is almost like being in a French chalet back in the mid 1800s.
That is
And
great.
and the table, Lester, like you know, they don't make wood or table the way they used to. When I was sitting, I literally felt like you know I need my glass of wine. I don't smoke. I felt like I had to get on my cigar, and um, but you felt like I felt like I was sitting at the round table the nights, you know, the nights of the round table. So some of you, if you enjoy wine, I mean, there's some beautiful wineries in the area as well.
And for some of you all out there that don't know, you may meet Natasha Bridgemohan of the Bridgemohan
Yes.
Investments. You all should talk to her. You would be surprised because she's a part of the Niagara International Film Festival, and she's also a part of Mindatorium. You're getting, double the fun from someone. So if you're listening now and you know that you're going to be there, get your tickets. Go get your ticket. The tickets are, I don't even know why we're charging because
Wow.
those tickets are so inexpensive that there's no reason why you cannot bring yourself, your family,
Absolutely.
an extended family. Come out and enjoy. Come out and enjoy some family fun with
Yes.
people who really believe in helping you follow your dreams, helping you be that person, helping you to see what people are doing on both sides of the border. we're,
Yeah.
we're
Absolutely.
enjoying we're
Absolutely.
enjoying so much.
Both sides of the border, you guys, right?
Yeah,
Everybody here at home in Canada, if you need a place to vacation this summer, come to Niagara Falls. If you're in the US, come to Niagara Falls.
yes. You know, I'm always traveling between Arizona and California because
Mhm.
Mindatorium is in Beverly Hills, California. It's also in Hollywood, California. And we're there and we're coming from California to Niagara Falls, from west to east. So
Wow.
Don't come up with an excuse. Don't be wondering, is this going to be fun? If Marcia Ellis was on here or Deepa were on here, we would tell you how much fun that we actually have.
Yeah,
I look forward to meeting
absolutely.
people. Deepa
Well,
has a
listen, one of the things that's going to be really fun this year on the Friday night. Do you remember we have had a wine
Mhm.
networking event last year on the Friday night? Well, we're
Yes.
going to do it again this year. There's gonna be a wine networking event, but
Hmm.
there's a couple of surprises. There's I guess it's no longer a surprise. It's
It
a
is
surprise.
because they don't know.
There's going to be a fashion show. It's going to be a beautiful fashion show on the Friday night, and then there's going to be another special thing that's going to be going on Friday night as well. So I can't really. I wish I could tell you guys everything that's going to be happening, but yeah, the networking is going to be incredible. There's going to be a gentleman there who's been in the film industry forever. Do you guys remember Chariots of Fire?
Yes.
Right, he was involved with Chariots of Fire. He's
Hmm.
been there's a movie called Rush. Do you guys remember Rush? And there's a McLaren in the movie, and it has the British flag that's all paint, I guess, wrapped around that McLaren. Well, that's his. That's his, right? So he's doing a docu series right now, and cross our fingers. Or proud, the docu series may be in partnership with Disney. That's going to be coming out later this year. So you're going to have some incredible individuals. You've heard, Lester's going to be there, Chief's going to be there, Hanning's going to be there, Natasha, who was our title sponsor last year. She's our the Bridge Group. They're our title sponsor again this year. So there's going to be some amazing people, individuals for you to meet and network with. We mentioned Donna Smith. Who knows who some of her friends that may show up. I was introduced to a gentleman last week, the week before. Anyways, it's just within the last week or two, and then we met at a restaurant in Yorkville, and this individual manages the Hyatt hotels from here all the way to Monaco. And there was a time when he was in Monaco and he hosted, right? When people come into Monaco and they're shooting films and movies, he gets to meet, the directors, the producers, the actors. And he was sharing with me one time they hosted, how can I forget? George Lucas. Come on, what's the name of the Star Wars, right? Like Star Wars was in Monaco at the Hyatt, and he got to host George Lucas and the actors and the producers and all those folks, right? So again, when you go to a networking event, you just never know who you're going to meet, right? And I'm going to finish with this story. I'm going to put you on the spot, Chief, because um, they say that you got to show up to blow up,
Yes.
right? 80% of success is showing up.
Yes.
Last week we had a rainstorm here. I was invited to go to a screening of a new film called The Life Coach, and I thought, oh, I don't know if I want to go. I'm so glad I went because there were people that I met. So I'm going to circle back to Think and Grow Rich, right?
Mm.
About mindset and showing up. Quite a few years ago, you and I showed up to an event in Beverly Hills.
Yes. City Gala, City Summit.
Yes, yes. And you met a gentleman with Secret Knox.
Yes, Bernie Gorman, God rest his soul.
Well,
And
that was CEO Space, Mr. Bernie Dorfman. But you met somebody from Secret Knox,
Greg Reed.
Mr. Greg Reed, right?
Hmm.
That was the first time you met him.
Yes.
And what happened this weekend?
I was at his spectacular secret knock this weekend, and that was so much fun for me. When I say I had a good time, that is an understatement of what I did there. I had such a good time being there with him, being there, meeting, networking. That's the best way to describe it. You're talking about networking on such a high level, and I had an opportunity to network with founders of companies.
Mm.
all loving personal development. And that was one of the most important parts, because it was so much fun for me that I didn't even expect what we were going to do. And it was a 4-day event. And
Wow.
I just like, wow, these people came out and they put everything aside just to give us information or better mindset and how to work with people in that really special, special way.
So when you and I met him way back,
Mm-hmm.
I think 2019,
19,
did you
2019.
expect that in 2025 you'd be one of the speakers on stage in front of
No,
500 people at this event?
no.
It's crazy, isn't it?
You know, you don't see yourself.
Congratulations, by the way.
Hmm.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Imagine, what would you do if you found yourself on one of the biggest stages of your life, and would you take the opportunity or would you run from it? What would
Wow.
you do with that thing?
That's incredible. Would you take the opportunity or would you run from it? What a great question.
Hmm. Come
Wow.
on, take care, do this opportunity. That's the thing that we want to really tell you about. The opportunities that you will have today will not be the opportunities that you will have tomorrow. You have a choice. Either take them or bypass them.
Wow.
What would you rather do? And that's important for people to see. You can grow into what you want, but you have to show up that 80%.
That's incredible. Chief, you have a poem? You have a poem for us?
I always have my favorite, if to follow your dreams wherever that they may lead, and not be distracted by less worthy needs. I want you to shelter them, to nourish them, and help your dreams grow. Follow your dreams, pursue them with haste. Life is too precious, too fleeting to waste. So be faithful, be loyal, and all your life through. May the dreams that you follow may God make them come true.
Wow, I love that. Follow your dreams. My grandson is 4 years old, and when we were in Hong Kong back in January, February, we went to coffee shop. But everywhere we go, I would say, "Follow your dreams," and then he would repeat after me. And he would say, "Follow your dreams," right? And then I would say, "Don't be distracted." He would say, "Don't be distracted." So we when I was first doing that with him, we would go for walks, we'd go for hikes, and he would be like, "Grandpa, I can't do that." But by the time we left, he can now say that poem that you just shared by himself, and we were sitting in the coffee shop and we did that poem together. But it's so important for us to follow our dreams and then inspire others to do the same. So I'm gonna share a poem as well, and then Chief, I'm gonna let you wrap up. And I want to thank everyone for being here, and please do check out Mindatorium with what Chief is doing. Become a member for Mindatorium as soon as you can. I would highly recommend that. And also check out the Niagara Canada International Film Festival and come and join us this summer. Okay, you guys, we're going to have like 3 days of incredible time together, the 7th and the 8th. $30, you guys, for a 2-day experience. Red carpet, films, opening ceremonies, closing ceremony, awards. It's just going to be a really good time. And on the Friday, the tickets are $100. I think we're 40-50% sold out already. But that includes the wine, the dinner, the fashion show, and a whole bunch of surprises. But here's my poem, right? This is a poem that I learned from Tony Robbins a long time ago, and it says something like, "Now I am the voice. I will lead and not follow. I will believe and not doubt. I will create and not destroy. I'm a force for good. I am a leader. Defy the odds. Set a new standard. Step up, step up, step up." So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Chief, any final thoughts before we go?
If you want something bad enough to go out and
Wow.
fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, and if all you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, If you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan to lose all the terror of the opposition for it, if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and constant, and faith, hope, and confidence, and you stern for tenacity. That's really important when you're looking what is that you
Yeah.
want to do. If neither cold, poverty, famine, nor gout, sickness, or pain, or body or brain can keep you away from that thing that you want, if you are dogged and you are grim, you beseech and you beset it, the help of God, you will get it. Never give up on what you want. Go for it with everything you have. We will see you June 6th, 7th, and 8th in Niagara Falls. Join me. Come talk to me. I'll
Yeah.
talk with you. And I really look forward to our new relationship. Thank
Amazing.
you.
And remember, my mama wants her 50 cents.
That's right. Persistence, persistence, persistence.
Love that
You
story, Chief. Thanks for sharing. Thank you, everyone, for
know,
being here. Look forward to your comments as well. And take care, everyone. Thank you, Chief.
thank you. Bye bye, Dr. So.